Today we are definitely changing out the coffee for a beer, so we are well and truly into day 2 of the CrossFit Games. There's currently been 3 events. I am waiting for the 4th one to go live, and I thought I'd do a little bit of an update on the first 3 events of the day. And if you are new here, my name is Adam. I am a physiotherapist, CrossFit fitness lover, and I'm currently making the transition into CrossFit, so you can expect to see a load more tips and tricks around mobility and injury prevention, as well as CrossFit kind of vlogging and my journey, because I've got some big plans to compete next year, hopefully getting involved into the sport. So if you are new, please subscribe, hit that notification button. I'm trying to get these videos out as quick as I possibly can. So I've just finished uploading day 1 of the CrossFit Games recap. This is day 2, so let's get into it. I hope you guys enjoy it. The first event of today was the descending ladder of toes to bar and walking lunges. So we had 30, 20, 10, toes to bar, and then yards of walking lunges. And my God, this is definitely one of them workouts that you see on paper and you're like, this isn't gonna be that bad. That one would be pretty easy. And then you actually look at these guys doing it and they are absolutely knackered. The terrain, the grass, the uneven surface. We had a few slips here and there as well.
After that was allowing her to get out in front, but it was really incredible how Tia was just very calm.
That was all crazy, but unlike yesterday, the girls went first this time round. One thing that I think Tia did really well at was she placed her kettlebells behind the line, so all the other girls were taking the kettlebells to the end of the rig and then coming back, where Tia were just saving the space and putting it there and then coming back. So
up to that finish mark.
David's daughter, second lane to your left, first to the rig for the round of 20, and this is where you cannot...
The race where initially Catherine was out in front and it was between her and Tia all the time. She saved in them few seconds, and them few seconds really made the difference.
She was just trying to stay up there, but a little bit of a fail, and I think she honestly, once she realized she couldn't catch it, she stopped. She basically let Tia go.
Tia Toomey will win her 4th event.
When on the guy side of things, similar to day 1, I found that Noah Olsen seemed to go out a little bit hot.
I think the only way you can is not have a big swing. That's one of the things that Noah did there. That's why he was first off the rig.
You could see towards the end, it was kind of funny to watch because you see Matt kind of going out steady and you see Noah come down a gear. And Matt just goes up a gear and they just kind of swap roles towards the end. Like the technique on the toes to bar of like keeping their abs engaged changed. Like Noah were doing it to start out with, and then he started doing the extra little bit of a kip. And on that last time round, Matt started doing the tighter core way where you don't have as much range of motion, you can be faster. And then he absolutely smashed out the lunges. So Tia and Matt both taking the win. Kind of as expected on this one. I wasn't expecting anyone else to kind of upset that. But it was sick. Them two absolutely smashed it, and it was a good start to the day. Then we went on to event 7, and my God, I didn't even know where to watch. Especially in the first round of the guys and the girls, where there's all 5 of them doing all the lifts at the same time. I was like, what is going on?
Furious starts 3 barbells on the competition floor, 3 lifts to determine which 4 will continue on. Tia Claire Toomey in the center lane. Done with rep number 1, on to rep number 2. Well ahead of the rest of the field with Brooke Wells. Haley Adams is well behind, but it'll be Tia Claire Toomey in lane number 3 just across the finish line.
Didn't have a clue what was going on, but it was a great format, and I thought it did build a lot of suspense towards the end. Tia, especially with her Olympic lifting background, I knew would kind of go through and absolutely smash this. Tia was in kind of a bracket of her own when it comes to the women's side.
The earth, and she tosses these ballers around. No big deal. Not even a problem. Not even a problem. She made this event look like an actual warm-up.
Then when it comes to the men's side, commentators were talking about how Adler were talking to Matt before, saying that he can't wait to do that last lift and just look at Matt while he's still trying to do it. It was just so good, and it sums up these CrossFit Games for me so far. And Matt ended the event with his iconic, sat with a weight above his head, banged it down, walked over this finish line and just give himself a good chest pump.
Quick step up back to the bar, and then Matt nails 285. It's weird when the only blemish is a missed lift, but you still win the entire event. Matt Fraser.
It was so good to see, and that's kind of like, even though there's no crowd there, and he talks about how he doesn't care about there not being a crowd, it's like still getting that iconic Matt Fraser kind of feel, which I think is absolutely sick. But one thing I did notice in this, obviously like in between the rounds with this little period where the guys were changing the weights and they were putting all the new weights on and stuff. And the little sneaky thing that I saw at the end is that Matt and Tia are both wearing these like Australian style hats. It's like, what superpowers are these hats giving you, and where can I get one? I want I want one. I want to wear one before my workout next. You know, I'm in the UK, it's not even that sunny, but I still want one. And then we go on to event 8, and at this point, Tia and Matt winning both the events of the day. They've both got a massive, massive point lead. It's kind of taking shape if you really see where this CrossFit Games is going, I think. One thing that I thought was absolutely hilarious was when Tia put on her helmet with her glasses, her round glasses. It reminded me, I don't know why it threw me back to this. It's been so long since I played Spyro. While watching the event, I was like Googling, what is this Spyro character? And I found out the electricity, the talisman of gears level from Spyro 2. It just reminded me of this character so much, seeing Tia in a helmet and with her glasses on. And the event was just so good. We've like seen it in the different terrains and then bringing all these different styles, like the hybrid bike and all the different things that maybe athletes haven't even really used before. And I think it just really shows that the CrossFit Games is really a true test of your fitness levels. And then of course, Tia winning again for the girls. So
Tia Toomey is...
That's taking her to a 6 event wins so far. So there's only been 2 events, the handstand walk and the trail run, that Tia hasn't won. And she showed off her win very proudly with a nice flex.
Tia Toomey has 100 more points.
Just before the guys went, it's like, if it wasn't for the coaching error of like the weights on Matt Fraser's deadlift in the event 3, the max total event, it would mean that he would have won every single event so far. Coming into this event, it was something that you wouldn't see Matt Fraser not winning anyway. Again, he was leading the entire way through, and then Adler were making a comeback right at the end.
Getting fired up right now. Look at that. All right, Matt made the look.
Matt finally looked over at him. And now the race is on here in event 8 of 12.
And Matt Fraser even said that he wasn't even sure if he was on the same round or if Matt Fraser had lapped him.
He didn't realize that he and Jeffrey Adler were on the same round until the last round.
Anyway, when he figured it out and when he worked out, Matt really stepped up a gear. We're not seeing the best Matt Fraser because he's not been tested. You can tell that by just like, he went up a gear and he just sprinted and he just showed that whilst Adler was behind him, fighting with every little bit he had left, Matt Fraser was just like, I'm off.
So Jeff Adler now, first place in the event, trying to hold off Matt Fraser, who is really leaning into that handlebar. And here comes Matt Fraser. He has regained the lead from Jeff Adler. But
how can we not be seeing this guy's full potential yet? He's so good and he's so fit that it's like, it's crazy to see someone that, how can someone be that fit? But Matt walked away with the victory in that one.
Really made Matt push, made him sweat a little bit, and it was fun to see that battle towards the end.
Taking him to having nearly a 400-point lead on the competition. So, event number 9, Happy Stars. It's a little bit of like, it's basically you've taken event number 2, you've gotten rid of the corn sack, and then you've added loads of burpees and thrusters in there as well. It's one of them workouts that is going to be horrible. You're going to have to go to the pain cave and you're going to stay there for the entire time. The girls were out first. It was awesome to see Brooke Wells go out as well, because she was in front for like the majority of the workout. It was a shame that she couldn't keep that pace though. She definitely died off towards the end. And it was an awesome comeback by Pierce, who came in second. She actually beat Brooke Wells, who was leading for a lot of it, and then Tia took over.
Steps to go before she will cross the finish line. And Tia Toomey, a clean sweep on Saturday.
Tia came in and won the event, taking all 3 events on day 2, which is absolutely insane. Her and Matt are just in a completely different league to everybody else. But what I did find funny again is that we went back to the rave throughout this workout, bringing back that dance move walking up the hills. But before we get into the guys side of things, I do have to give Dave Castro props here. He has done some absolutely awesome programming for this CrossFit Games. I feel like all the athletes have been tested in a variety of different things, different duration of workouts. When it comes to strength or endurance, they've been tested in everything that they need to find the fittest on earth. So this is, like I said, the CrossFit Games is to find the fittest person on earth. And I think they've covered a lot of these different elements, which is really good. I expect tomorrow that we're going to see a little bit of like maybe more of an agility style course. That'd be good. Maybe something like pegboards or something to do with more climbing based stuff. We've had the ropes, but maybe something else like that. And I think there'd be a few different variations that'd be good to add in there tomorrow. But going onto the guy side, going into this event, Matt Fraser has a 390-point gap between him and second place. So he is running away with it at the minute. Also good to see another name that we haven't really spoke about much, which is Sam Quant. He went out again.
Sam Quant is back first. Now, of course, he was closest to that run. He's on the left side of your screen. Justin Medeiros is in the middle, and Matt Fraser is in the leader's jersey.
And really sent it. He sold his soul throughout this workout, and you can see that at the end of the workout.
And Samuel Quant does not seem to care about his personal hygiene at this point.
But he really sent it, and he was really good throughout this workout. Matt Fraser got into his groove, found his place at the front of the pack, and just led.
It's done, and Fraser wins another event. He sweeps Saturday at the CrossFit Games.
Throughout the entire thing, nice and easy, taking home the victory. He didn't even seem that bad. And when you see Quant come through at the end, he's like a broken human being.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
It's quite funny to see someone who is one of the top 5 fittest people in the world just rolling on the floor in like a bit of a mess. But after the event had finished, obviously Matt Fraser had taken first place, Quant came in second, and Jason Mendoza wasn't really in the pack, and I haven't really seen much of him today. He's kind of been sitting back with everything, so I hope he hasn't burnt out too much on that first day. Whether that's kind of still quite young, and whether that's like games experience and burning out too early in earlier events maybe, but he really seems to be able to hold his own with the other guys in there. But I'm just hoping that he's got enough in him to keep going for the rest of day 3. And talking about that, day 3, we have got 3 more events tomorrow, 2 of which we don't actually know any of the details about. So it's going to be good to find out what Dave Castro has got in store for the guys tomorrow. Obviously, Matt and Tia are running away from it. It's more of a fight for the rest of the podium now for the 2nd and the 3rd places on both the guys and the girls' sides. But one thing I do want to check in with you guys with is, how are you guys watching the games? Are you sat back? Are you chilled out? Are you at your box? I know a few boxes have been putting on little events to watch the games. When I'm watching them, I'm currently sat in my living room, doing a little bit of a stretch, doing a little bit of a foam roll, and just kind of trying to tick over on the rehab and making the most of resting this weekend. I hope you guys are enjoying these CrossFit recap videos. I'm going to get one out for you covering the 3rd day as well. And if you have got this far into the video, please show your support and like the video. I am grinding away trying to get these out and ready for you. It is currently 10 to 2 in the morning and I've got work tomorrow, so I'm going to get this video edited and sorted and uploaded for you guys, and then I will be doing another one tomorrow covering day 3 of the CrossFit Games. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, hopefully you're excited for the games tomorrow, and there is one last thing to say: stay obsessed.